Why is it you're going to vote for the Conservatives?
Because I wouldn't ever vote for anybody else.
Welcome to Canvey Island. Canvey Island is a pocket of Castle Point constituency in Essex, which for years has been one of the safest of Tory safe seats. The Conservative MP Rebecca Harris won 76.7% of the vote share in 2019. But like in other supposedly safe Tory seats all over the country, is not looking quite so rosy this time. A collapse in the Conservative vote at the local elections saw a coalition of independents take control of the local council, making it one of just 2 councils in England to be made up entirely of independents. And although the Conservatives are predicted to retain this seat, it is likely to be with a much, much smaller majority. Change is clearly in the air, so I've come to Canvey to see if that will extend to the general election.
I'm a Tory, I'm proud of it.
Here's a really safe Tory area.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
The demographic, really. Sold money, kind of just entrenched system.
It's habit more than anything.
Yeah. No opportunity for youth or growth or, just a lack of imagination and inspiration, I think. Yeah.
What is it? Why is it the Castle Point has such a strong Conservative base, do you think?
Because we're all sensible.
What issues matter to you?
Immigration.
Really?
Yeah.
What about immigration?
Well, I think it's just too many people coming into the country. Our serving army people and that the immigrants get preferential treatment over them. And people on the housing list, they come into this country, they get free housing, free everything else, and people that have paid in all their life don't get anything.
It's quite damning. It's quite a damning assessment.
It's a very damning society in Britain. I mean, I think if you, as a youngster, I think if I would have a good look around and exit.
Yeah. If Rishi Sunak or Keir Starmer or another leader was listening to you right now, what would you say?
I'd say just try and get it together as much as you can and actually be honest with people. Don't make us believe something that's not going to happen. The same with Brexit. They weren't honest with that.
What weren't they honest about, do you think?
All sorts of things that they promised that didn't happen. They didn't tell us certain things. If we came out of Brexit, what would happen? Like with the produce going up, everything's gone up. People that, like expats that live abroad, it's difficult for them. All sorts of things that we didn't realise.
Were you in favour of Brexit?
I was.
And how do you feel about it now?
Wished I wasn't.
I will say they should never have got rid of Boris.
Really?
Oh, God, no. When he won in 2019, I didn't think Labour would ever come back. And I think he did a good job in COVID because nobody else has ever had to do that before. I do think they did the dirty on him.
Really?
Yeah. Definitely.
Say Labour win as predicted. How would you feel about that?
Devastated.
Really?
And sometimes there are hard decisions you have to make, so get on with it.
What are those hard decisions, do you think?
All sorts of hard decisions. Unemployment is right. Councils are going broke. That's because they're paying out all this money in housing benefit. Someone needs to actually say, right, we've got to do something about it. I mean, I was reading in the paper, one of the councils in the country are pulling a halt to right to buy. Not stopping it, but...
Pausing it. Manchester, I think, was...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew it was somewhere. And that's what they need to do. They won't build council houses, which they could still help people out with the rent, but at a lot cheaper rate, because it would be council rates, not private loans. And all those things need to be sorted out, just for a while. Give the country a chance to get back on its feet after COVID and everything else that's been going on the last few years. But it's like they don't listen to anybody but themselves, and they're all only interested in what they look like to the public. And it's no good. You need someone to actually pull themselves up by their underwear and get on with the damn job.
What issues matter to you, do you think?
I just think it's sorting out the economy, really. That's the main issue at the minute. Obviously, you've got the big thing of obviously housing prices at the minute. I see that all the time. The struggle for first-time buyers. That's a big thing that needs to be tackled, and the rising interest rates on mortgages. So I think that's the main concern, but among other things. But yeah.
we're bathing in shit.
Yeah.
And, you know, you can't get... I've been waiting sort of, I don't know, 3 years to get treated for cancer and stuff, you know. Yeah, I mean, it's just a neglect and things, you know, things like that, the water, where all the money that they've spent given to shareholders, none of it's been invested. And we're drinking this shit, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's outrageous.
It's damning.
Outrageous.
You say you're proud to be a Tory. What, over the past 14 years of government, are you proud of, do you think?
Oh, I don't know. Well, the way they cope, the way Boris did COVID. You know, nobody else. I can't see. What was it, Corbyn, wasn't it, who would have got in? Can you imagine what he'd have done? And I think Richie Sunak with the paying the money furlough. Yeah. I mean, I thought they did a good job. They paid it to lots of wrong people. Don't get me wrong, but they did help people, and well.
What would swing your vote, do you think? What issues?
I'd say more so on help for first-time buyers and youngsters trying to get onto the property ladder more so than anything else, because I'm 27 years of age, got a young family, and trying to get onto the property ladder is near on impossible at the moment. You're finding that the average age for first-time buyers moving up to sort of 35 years of age in that sort of bracket. So yeah, I'd probably say more so that.
I was talking to a woman earlier, and she was saying I estimated, I'm going to be rude, she's probably about late 50s. Yeah, my first error. But she was saying how sorry she feels for kind of young people. Like the social contract seems to be broken almost, like what we were promised isn't the case anymore.
Yeah, I think it is more so that I think that's what we need to be focusing on is the next generation, because you'll find there's a lot of youngsters now that don't necessarily have the opportunities that they would have had back in the day. So they're finding they're grouping around and doing things on the streets that are then becoming an issue for every community really. Yeah. So I'd say more community centres, more activities for youngsters, and more things that can develop skills that they can take into later life really.
Do you know who you're going to vote for?
I don't yet, no, to be honest with you, but I think more research is required, because a lot of things are promised, but mainly sort of looking at the trends and what's happened in the past maybe will help me make that decision.
Who do you intend to vote for?
Who do I intend to vote for? Probably Labour.
Really? Why Labour? This is a very conservative, safe seat.
Probably it goes back years, because my parents were Labour, and then I started voting Conservative. We bought our house through the Conservatives, so I've got something to thank them for. But nothing seems to happen. You get all these promises and nothing seems to happen. So I thought, well, maybe Labour might change. No,
I just hope the Tories win. I probably doubt they will, but I just hope they do.
Excellent.
And then the other thing, they have brought inflation down. And will he bankrupt the country like they did in 2010 when he left the little note saying there's no money left?
Or in 2022 with Liz Truss.
Oh well, we don't talk about her. That was the worst thing ever. That was the worst thing.
Really?
Yeah. Should never have. No, she shouldn't have. But that probably was the downfall of them, which is a shame. But as I say, should never have got rid of Boris. I'm a Boris fan.
I can tell.
Yeah.
Thank you, Carol. Thank you very much for your time.